All right, we're back after week 14.
The 14? Yeah.
Pretty sure it's
Good
14.
job. You got it right. Nice.
I know. You made me second guess myself. I don't love that. But Brian, what's up, man?
How's it going? Doing good. Actually, I'm doing all right. I'm not doing good. I'm doing okay.
All right. What does that even mean?
It was a rough week. It was
Betting
it was the
wise,
week of it was the week of almost. I think that's what we called it when we were texting. Is that what we said? Week
the
of almost?
one leg away week.
Yes. That was the one leg away week. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
reminded me.
brutal.
I feel like I
Brutal.
placed like four pretty big bets and they all missed by one.
Yeah, I think I have screenshots of like I think it's 6 or 7 swipes long of and most of them are like 4 or 5 like parlays, and to win 400 or 500 bucks type of bets, and all of them one leg away. Ended on Monday night with Bengals T Higgins TD screwing me over, Andre Yoshivas TD screwing me over for missing some more. So it is what it is. That happens. That's what parlays do, you know. But other than that, it was a good week. Other than the gambling aspect.
Our texts are basically like the bets we want to place, and then in between, it's
What's
like,
happening? Yeah.
but it's just like one word's like, oh, that was huge, or
Oh, sure. Like,
need a pick six here.
yeah, yeah. That hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. Or just God, yeah. This week was, first of all, the slate wasn't good. I feel like
Yeah.
it was either two teams playing against each other that like didn't really have like much going on, like two
Mm-hmm.
bad teams, and it was like a good team versus a bad team. And really the only really good game was the Rams Bills.
Yeah. If you can throw the Packers Lions in there from Thursday, that was a
Yeah,
good game,
yeah,
that
yeah.
Thursday night game. But yeah, a lot of like it's you forget about those games when you get to the weekend because it feels so far removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because obviously, yeah, Bengals didn't play till Monday, so I was like, all right, I'm pumped to just watch football all day. Don't have to worry about them. And then that noon slate for me, Central Time, the early slate, it was so boring.
So boring.
Even going into it, I was like, I don't even know which game I want to focus on. Like that just you had Titans Jaguars, which we'll get to that later. But I said it last week. I don't know why I put money on that game. Like to have any interest in that game that was like 3-0 at half and 6-3 with a minute left in the fourth quarter. Like, come on, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
Dolphins Jets was at least entertaining, but the game didn't really mean much. Falcons Vikings was pretty solid, but kind of Vikings
Blowout.
blew away. Yep, and then I mean Saints Giants 14-11. It was
Again, two
just it
teams that
was
don't matter.
yeah, and yeah, two teams that don't really matter. Yeah, it was just a tough slate. It was a tough slate this week. I'll yeah, I think you put it the right way.
I mean, Eagles Panthers was pretty good.
Eagles Panthers is a good game, and that's what we kind of talked that last week. Panthers kind of coming out of nowhere, not coming out of nowhere, but looking more like the team I think they want to be. And honestly, again, they need to find ways to win these games because it'll build confidence. But the fact that Bryce Young's playing so well and they're playing better, I mean, you got to, as a Panthers fan, you got to be ecstatic at the way it's going, and you're still losing, so you're still gonna have a top 5 pick or top 3 pick. So it kind of works out on both ends, but the winning feeling is very, very satisfying. It's good for the locker room, good for the team. But I think they're on the up and up. And Eagles, I don't know if it's.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I thought you were talking about the Eagles locker room, but yeah, the Panthers look miles better. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like they have a guy in Bryce Young, and
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Like good for him. I love to see stuff like that, especially how the season started. And he was talking about being like he was benched, then talked about being traded to a whole new team, and who knows how real that is. But yeah, but then like the Eagles, they keep winning. They're 11-2, and for me, I feel like it's like starting to get to the point where people are just making stuff up.
Yeah.
So there's some drama in that locker room, but
Well,
it
their
just
own
keeps happening.
teammates did it for
I
this
know.
one.
I
Like
know.
this
That's what I
this one
mean.
was this one was so weird. The
Yeah.
the the whole thing with the Eagles. I mean, obviously it came out after the game. They still, to your point, they still won the game. The Panthers had a chance to potentially win the game where Xavier Legette dropped that touchdown pass at the end of the game with like 40 seconds left, which again they could have still came down. Eagles still could have gone out and scored and won the game. But yeah, Brandon Graham gets on and starts talking about how they used to be friends. They're no longer friends. They're just trying to coexist now. Like the whole thing was, and maybe he did. I saw something that said maybe he did it on purpose to kind of get everything out there, and then they could
Yeah.
brush it away publicly and kind of like fix what some of the public talk was. AJ Brown getting up there and saying, "What's the problem?" And he said passing. I don't think he's taking a shot at Jalen. I think he even cleared it to the air today and said, it's not that wasn't a direct talking to Jalen. It was just our passing offense. We threw for 108 yards last week. Like, that's not good enough. It's not. It's all of us, not Jalen's fault. As I think a lot of people, the media, they take it and run with it and say, "Oh, they build
Do
narratives."
they?
Yeah, the whole thing was crazy from the get go. Yeah, because I remember I think you sent me the original clip that Brandon Graham was kind of up there talking.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see AJ Brown say what he said
Yeah.
because I would have taken that completely different and would have been like, yeah, I mean, if you look at the stats, that's ridiculous. You can't throw for 100 yards and expect to win, you know?
Yep. They
And
did
but
win
when
though.
I know, but against the Panthers. And I know the Panthers are playing better, but whatever. But also like, it could be on Kellen Moore with, how he's running the offense. And like when I first read the whole situation, it reminded me of Donovan McNabb and T.O. back in like 2004. And I was
Good
like,
times.
God, not again. Because they
Yeah.
were boys and like in the All-Star game, McNabb recruited him to Philly and they were like best friends. And then like you find out in the huddle that Donovan McNabb was tired after he like broke his leg. And it was his first game back after Jeff Garcia brought him to the Super Bowl. For those who don't remember that, obviously I do. But T.O. came out and said like I wasn't the one tired in the huddle. And I was like, fuck. I thought we were back to that, but I feel like there's always some kind of drama. Like it was the
Yeah.
Sirianni thing; they were like six
Mm-hmm.
and two, and like all of Philadelphia wanted him gone. And now, and last year it was Jalen and Sirianni. Then Sirianni's not a good coach, and now it's AJ Brown not like getting along with Jalen Hurts. So I think we should all expect a big AJ Brown game this Sunday.
Yes, I tend to agree. If you're going to place any bets, probably take his overs this week. It is interesting though, because like to your point, it feels like there's always something with the Eagles. Like yeah, Sirianni, Jalen Hurts don't get along, and then they have a kumbaya session at the bye week, and now everything's fine. And then now they're killing teams, everything's going great, and then you throw this in there, and it just seems like unneeded distractions that like kind of follow this team around for some reason. I think they're going to be fine. I think they'll show it this week. I'm sure they'll do some sort of when they score a touchdown, some sort of celebration together, or something like that to kind of show everyone there is no problems. Because like I saw something that AJ Brown is Jalen Hurts' kid's godfather or something. It's like I
Yeah.
just
Well, it's all
maybe they're not
blown
as
up. I
close,
mean,
right? Yeah, maybe they're not as
come
close as
on.
they used to be, but
Like, you know how
people,
guys are. Who cares? Like, you
yeah,
just brush
right,
it off. And especially if you've played a sport, like, you don't think, you think they're in the locker room being like, yeah, bro, like, you didn't throw to me enough.
yeah, no,
Like, what are we even
no,
talking about?
they're gonna be fine. And
Like,
AJ
why
Brown's stats are
wouldn't,
great.
even if you had the worst relationship with your best receiver, you're still going to throw to him because he's going to make you look better.
Exactly.
Like, if you're just going to see the guy who's open and throw it to him, you're not going to like see the guy and look him off because, no, that's AJ Brown, you know?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
crazy to me.
they only threw the ball 21 times. They didn't throw the ball a ton. It was 14 for 21. He did only get 4 targets. So maybe I don't know. I just I do think there's also some of the two wide receivers in general. Like they just seem to be the divas of the entire NFL
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
which is fine. But we've seen this before. Like we've seen these breakups happen before. You had Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and that obviously didn't end well. I mean, there's a ton of like Diggs with Kirk Cousins, same thing. He didn't want to be number 2 to Thielen. Maybe it's just Stephon Diggs. There's only 2 examples I can think of. But Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, that had a bad falling out, and him
T.O.
and Derek
McNabb.
Carr. Yeah, T.O. McNabb, Michael Thomas, and Derek Carr. That was another one that was even public earlier this year, which I did
Yeah.
not understand. So it happens. It feels like with receivers more so than anyone else. But I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to go back. Who do they play this week?
Steelers.
Oh, it's a good game.
Yeah.
The slate this week is a lot better.
So much
So
better.
much better.
So much better. I can't wait to talk about our picks because I know we're gonna have more than 6 games that we like would actually. We're gonna have more than 2 games we're gonna watch. We're gonna
Yeah.
want to watch.
Yes.
I
Because
mean,
yeah,
you picked Jaguars and
I
Titans.
can't believe I did. And I lost that bet. We'll get to that later. But I can't believe I picked that game. And I'm not kidding. I sat there watching it because I placed a bet on it, and I was like, "What the?" I literally was like, "Why the hell did I do this? This is painful to watch."
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
that's
it's a
brutal.
mistake. It is what it is, though. But yeah, and then other games that a few takeaways. Rams Bills was the other. I think the big game. The afternoon slate was a little bit better because you had Seahawks Cardinals, which was kind of big for division. But Bills Rams was the game I think everyone was tuning into just because Josh Allen played unbelievable. 44-42. Matt Stafford played great. Puka Nakua, a lot of stars making big plays, and it was a fun game to watch. And
Josh Allen
Josh
got
Allen,
the Joe Burrow treatment,
he did get the Joe Burrow treatment. He got the what else do you want me to do? I put up 42 points, and we still can't win this damn game.
and he had 6 touchdowns.
He had 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing. I think his MVP odds went up, which I understand because they're still a 10-3 win team, even though he lost.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a fun game.
At some point, you're going to be like I understand if the defense gives up 25, like that's still kind of a lot, but your offense can overcome that. But like if you're going to ask your quarterback to score more than 44 points, you're like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing you can do. You don't play both sides of the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't play defense.
And one of them was a punt return for a touchdown.
Was it? Well, that's right. Yeah.
So
but that game was fun. Those are the games you love watching when you're not on. When you're not.
Did you hear Tom Brady?
No, what did he say? No, what did he say?
So the last drive when the Bills were about to score to go down 2.
Yes.
So they tried to sneak it, and it didn't work. So they had to burn a timeout. Tom Brady starts going nuts about how bad of a decision that is. He's like, you have to burn a timeout, and I have to do an onside kick. And he's like, this game's over.
Yes.
Like, you can't run that play. You can't burn a timeout. You could throw it 3 times, or anything.
Dirt it.
Yeah, 100%. But they burn a timeout, and that's kind of how the game
ended.
Yeah, and on the punt, so the Rams punted with like 7 or 8 seconds left. Basically, they told the punter they're on the Bills 41, and they were basically told the punter to punt as high as you can out of the end zone, just to run the clock out. And not only did the Bills not put 11 guys on the line to try to block it, they only had 10 guys on the field.
Yeah, I thought it was 9. I thought it was 9 guys on the field, or it was at one point. I think some guy ran on it like the last second to get it to 10.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was a big storyline because it goes back to the people who don't think Sean McDermott makes the right decisions as a coach. Like, obviously there was the whole scandal with him last year. Not scandal, but he might get fired and the whole 9/11 stuff, like that whole story from last year, which is just insane.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever heard him in interviews?
A little bit, not a ton. I haven't really tuned into a ton of them.
He sounds like a cool guy. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, I think he's a good coach. Like, they win football games, so he has to be good.
Well, they were talking about how like their special teams coach is like terrible.
Yeah, I buy that. But yeah, you need to put a guy back there because you could fair catch it, stops the clock. You can try and just run it back.
No, put 11 guys trying to block it. I mean, the punt went out of the end zone. They were on the Bills 41, so it would be like a nothing punt. So yeah, that game was wild. It was cool. I mean, Matt Stafford doing Matt Stafford things. I feel like he's not talked about enough, even if he's in LA. Like
he really isn't. He really is not talked about enough about as a top tier quarterback. When he's healthy and he has his pieces around him, he throws like one of the prettiest balls in the NFL. Like, and his deep ball, unbelievable. And Puka.
Well, this was supposed to be like a bridge year too.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be a bridge year for the Rams like 2 years ago or whatever it was.
And it was last year. Yeah, well, the last 2 years they just keep putting themselves in contention, and that just shows you coaching is great, and you have a great quarterback. So I understand they don't have any picks, so they can't really do much. I think last year was their first time getting their first round pick in like 4 years.
Yeah. I think it was last year. They got a first round pick. They had 2 seconds, I think. But yeah, because they kept trading their picks because they kept going all in, which they won a Super Bowl, so it worked. It worked. Yeah, but last year this year and last year they started out like 1-4. Made the playoffs last year. Looks like they have a solid chance to make the playoffs this year. That was a huge win for them.
This Thursday is going to be huge for both teams.
Yeah. So I'm actually curious where they're at right now. I think they're just outside the playoffs. Yeah. I think the Bucs technically have that 7 seed. Rams right behind them. But yeah, this Thursday.
No, Bucs have the 4 seed right now.
Oh yeah, because they're the division. They're leading the division, right? So they have the 4 seed. Are they in the playoffs then right now? No, they're still out of the playoffs.
Is it the 49ers that have it?
No, you have Detroit, Philly, Minnesota, Green Bay, Seattle, Washington has it, and then Tampa is winning their division. So Washington has that last wild card.
Okay.
Am I
Wow.
thinking about that
Yeah,
right?
but that game
I think I'm thinking
was
about that.
awesome. I love shootouts like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you want to see some defense, but also I think the Rams punted once.
No, it was an unbelievable. And kind of go back to the Tom Brady comment. I was watching it. I didn't hear what he said, but when they ran it, the QB sneak, I was like, and then they did it again. They lined up to do it again, and
Well, they
it
got it,
worked the
yeah.
second time. Which is fine. But I do agree it cost them the game because you still had 3 timeouts, a minute left, and you could have still gotten the ball back with plenty of time if you stopped. Even you didn't even have to try an onside kick if you didn't want to. I do remember Tom Brady saying that earlier in the drive. If you score quick enough, you don't even have to try an onside kick because you have 3 timeouts.
Well, yeah, and they did have them, and they burned one. It was
Mm-hmm.
brutal,
Yeah, it's bad,
brutal.
but hell of a game. That was probably the most entertaining game of the week. And then the Sunday night game was good though. You had the Chargers and the Chiefs. It was a good game.
Wow, is that a compliment for the Chiefs?
I mean, no, not really. It was just another one of the God. What are they now? 12 straight one score wins.
Yeah,
It's either 11 or 12, which is just unbelievable. But you knew they were going to win. Like I mean, there was no doubt in my mind that they were going to win that game. So
yeah, it's insane. I mean, at some point, you just gotta be like, all right, they're this is what they do. Like it
and
was
they
just how they and it was like even the throw to Kelsey at the end, and Kelsey just goes straight down.
mm-hmm.
Even he even had like 6 yards to run if you wanted to, but he was just like, we're gonna win on
It
our
was
third kicker of the year.
the doink that did it for me. Like it's like a 34-yard field goal, and or
They're just
31.
messing with everyone now.
I
They're like,
know they're
hey, I'm
just
gonna.
like
The guy's like, you know what? I'm gonna bank this one in.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just I it makes it so much worse if they just make it like normal. You feel okay, like they won, but the fact that it doinked and because every fan base is like, if that would have been us, there's no way it goes in, or we would be playing against Kansas City and ours would doink out instead of going in, and it just
with their third kicker of the year.
at some point I still think the luck like it's gonna run out at some point. There's so
I
much
said
luck
that
involved
last
with
year.
this. I know, but there feels like there's so much luck involved with winning this many games this way that it's gonna at some point gonna come back. But yeah, maybe not. You're right. I mean, they won it all last year.
You know what people say about luck?
What's that?
It's where preparation and opportunity meet.
Look at you, motivational quote of the week.
Yeah,
No, I
I heard.
have heard
I
that.
took that from somebody. I heard someone say that this week.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. But yeah, uh, I think the Chiefs' schedule. I think they kind of locked up the 1 seed with that too. They haven't officially locked it up, but the fact that the Bills lost, they win now.
Yeah,
They have a 2 game lead, and well, they didn't have the head to head, so that was a huge week for them. They'll probably be resting their starters last week of the season because they got Browns, Texans. Oh, they got Browns, Texans, Steelers. I could see them losing one or two of those, and then Broncos to end the season.
damn, that's not
It's a
that
tough
easy.
schedule. No, it's a tough schedule. Jameis is playing well, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Jameis came in there, won that game. I'm curious what
Hold
that
on, hold
spread
on.
is.
You said Jameis is playing well.
When is Jameis ever playing bad?
I mean, that's a good point. He did Jameis things last week. He threw the ball 41 times, completed 24 of them. No pick sixes. So the
That's
Lord
good.
the Lord saved him there.
Answer
Maybe
the
next time
prayers.
just say picks.
Yeah,
Like save me
yeah.
from picks or whatever he said.
How many picks do you have
So
this week?
two,
Two.
but none of them were for touchdowns.
2 picks. My goodness.
He's the
How many
goat,
picks?
man.
How many picks does he have on the year?
That's a good
Let's see.
question.
9. He's only played like 6 games. Jameis.
13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I mean, that's Jameis
That's
Winston
actually
football right there.
yeah. That's actually not that bad. 13-9. Yeah, it's not that bad. God, who are they? I saw someone say that Drake May is Justin Herbert with Jameis Winston's decision making, or like Jameis Winston's brains, because he's got like all the athletic talent in the world, but he just makes some stupid throws. I just thought it was funny. Anything with Jameis, I just think is funny. So
I mean, we gotta pump the brakes on that because he's got no one to throw to, no offensive
yeah,
line, and
completely agree. Yeah,
I mean, he's basically playing with like a JV squad.
yes, completely agree. I actually think Drake May looks really good.
Yeah, me too. I think they got someone there. That's
Yeah.
wild.
How would you rank if you going back? How would you rank the now that we're kind of know what the rookie quarterbacks are? How would you take? I'm drawing a blank. Minnesota, JJ McCarthy out of it, obviously because he hasn't played. But if you had to do Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb, and Drake May, how would you rank? If you had to redraft, what order would they go in? It's tough because they all kind of look decent.
I would say with how Jaden Daniels started the year, I think you would have to put him one. And then Caleb 2, Drake May 3, Bo Nix 4.
Really? You got Bo Nix
Yeah.
at 4? It's tough, right? It's a tough question.
Only because it's tough with Drake May because his team, he's by far on the worst team out of those
Mm-hmm.
4. So he's at 3 for the upside. Caleb's not 1 because he has people and he has a team around him, but like who knows, that offensive line stinks. And Bo Nix has a good team.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Like
fair.
I would love to see the Broncos with like Jaden Daniels or Caleb
Yeah.
Williams or Drake May. Like
Yeah,
if Drake
it's
May
fair.
was on, I think if Drake May was on the Broncos, I think he'd be running away with Rookie of the Year earlier than what Bo Nix is doing now. And yeah, I mean that'd be wild.
I do
Plus,
agree.
like,
That's
and what's his name? OJ Mayo. What's the
Jared
what's his
Mayo.
first name?
Jared.
OJ Mayo, the basketball
AJ.
player.
Oh, is he the old DC player? Why is that who I'm thinking of?
OJ Mayo played for the Grizzlies and he played at USC. He was from Cincinnati. Yeah,
He's from
yeah,
Cincinnati and committed to USC. That's what it was. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. He
yeah.
played at USC for 1 year, then went to the
Yeah, that's right.
Grizzlies and had
OJ
like a
Mayo.
very
What
mediocre
a
career. I know OJ Mayo, not him. Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. People like want him fired, so I can't imagine if he had Sean Payton or a guy like Cliff Kingsbury as a coach.
I hadn't thought about that, but I think you're right. Bo Nix. No, not Bo Nix. Drake May on the Broncos seems like a fantastic fit for having the
Unbelievable.
defense. Sean Payton. He's kind of like obviously not
He's
the
got some
same as Drew
good young
Brees,
weapons.
but
Like who's the best
yeah, you
weapon
got
on like Pop Douglas?
yeah. They just cut
Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk. He stinks. They cut KJ
Yeah.
Osborne, which I don't know why. Hunter Henry probably, honestly.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, Hunter Henry probably. Unless I'm missing someone obvious, but
I feel like there's a third guy there that we're not thinking of, but it doesn't matter.
they took Javon Baker, who hasn't really played in the draft. But yeah, no, they don't really have. I
No
see a
offensive
lot of
line.
Patriots fan calling for T. Higgins, so we'll see what
I heard
happens
that
there.
too.
We'll see what happens there.
I mean, he'll play 5 games and we'll never hear from him again.
He's gonna
But
be
he's gonna
back
get
on the
paid
Bengals.
35.
He's gonna be back on the Bengals.
Can we talk about one more guy really quick?
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
yeah.
You think he's gonna re-sign with Minnesota, or is he going
No,
to like Tennessee?
I think he's. I don't know if I'll go to Tennessee. Actually, Tennessee's a pretty good fit with Brian Callahan. I kind of like that. No, I don't think he resigns with Minnesota. I think Minnesota should want to resign him, but I think he also probably wants to go somewhere where they haven't taken a first round quarterback in the last year. Like I think Minnesota invested in JJ McCarthy, so I think they're going to see that through. If you're Minnesota, you want probably another 1 year bridge quarterback. So you
Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones or Aaron
For
Rodgers
oh, that'd be
or
cool.
follow the Brett Favre path. You got Packers, Jets, Vikings. Like could follow the path directly. No, I just
Before you go on, have you seen this whole thing with Brett Favre?
you know
And
what? I've seen the video pop up on my feed, but and I saw his apology tweet, but I just have not physically watched the video of whatever it is.
God, I forget who it was, but it was a
He keeps
defensive
like going
lineman.
to shake hands with someone or something, and then I just keep scrolling by it. I don't want to watch this.
So really quick, it's just kind of funny. Wait, yeah, Mark Gastineau, I think that's how you say his name. He had the all-time season sack record, and Michael Strahan broke it. But the sack that he broke it on looks like Brett Favre kind of gave it to
Quit.
him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so Mark Gastineau went up to him at some signing. This was like last year, I think, and was like, "I want my sack back." And it just seemed like he was about to like throw hands
Uh-huh.
because Brett Favre's like, "What do you mean? You're gonna hurt me?" Anyway, it's just making the rounds, and it's
I need
a
to
little
watch it.
ridiculous. But
I need to
it's
watch it.
like you could tell this guy's dealing with like some mental health stuff, and like after his football career, he was a pro boxer for like 5 or 6 years, and it was actually pretty good. He was like 15-2, but then it came out that like he was a part of some fixed fights, so like
Oh, wow.
it's kind of like calling the kettle black.
Yep. That's funny.
But yeah, anyway, so Brett Favre being he just can't leave like
The news.
media. Yeah, like
Yeah.
this guy's just like growing up, you thought Brett Favre, he was like the most fun quarterback to watch, and then like after his career, he was like a really popular guy, especially as like a kid. he was in all the backyard football games,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and then you're like, dude, you just want to be like, can you just like be
Go
cool?
away. Yeah, just
Stop taking
stop.
people's money or whatever he did,
Yeah.
allegedly.
He's has been in the news a lot since he's playing career. But yeah,
Anyway,
I don't think Minnesota, because I think Sam Darnold would want to stay in Minnesota, but they're not going to want to sign him to more than 2 or 3 years. And he probably wants like a Baker Mayfield type of deal where, hey, I showed what
I
I
was
can
thinking that.
do. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I don't need to be top of the market, but I'm going to get paid top 12 money, top
like
15
3
money.
years,
Yeah,
100, what, 20
50.
million?
No, not 150, 120. Baker was 120, so maybe he
Yeah.
goes like 125. Give me a couple extra just for market value and cap
But
rising.
who would he go to? Like the Raiders, the
Raiders? No, Raiders are
Titans.
drafting Shador Sanders.
Okay, well, not yet. They haven't yet. So
Yeah, okay.
Raiders, Titans.
Raiders, Titans. I like the Titans a lot. That one seems to fit really well. Raiders,
I think who
Titans.
else?
Um, I mean Browns even potentially. I heard the
I
Browns want to
can't.
bring in a veteran,
But
not
can they
necessarily.
afford him?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. He's probably too expensive for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's not
because I
many.
agree. And if I was Sam Darnold, I would want to stay far away from the Browns. He's obviously not going to go back to the Jets. I don't think.
No, I don't
Could
think
go
he'd go
to
back to the Jets.
Giants.
Giants, yeah, Giants. It could be one. Sleeper, the Rams. Yeah, the Rams. Sleeper. Just
Wait,
I
why
don't know
would
how
the
long.
Rams do that?
I don't know how long Stafford has left in his contract. There were some rumblings about him getting potentially traded at the trade deadline and coming
Yeah,
into the
for
year.
Sam Darnold.
Is that what it was? Was it for Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was Minnesota. That's right. Maybe that's why that
Maybe,
sticks out in my head.
maybe that deal gets done in the offseason and they just
Yeah.
make a swap and like add a pick or something, and there's your bridge quarterback for JJ McCarthy.
But yeah, it feels like other than those 4 or 5, like Seahawks, depending on how much Geno has left. I know he kind of just got a new deal. I like Geno though, so like
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
think it'll
that's
be
gonna happen.
Seahawks. I think the Panthers stick with. They already had Panthers. He would be going back to the Panthers. He was already on the Panthers, but I think they're going to stick with Bryce Young. Saints maybe.
How many years are left on Carr's
Derek
deal?
Carr's deal. I don't know one, but I'm sure he's got to be getting close to the point where he can get cut without too much
But then
terrible things happening.
where would he go? Minnesota,
I
Jets,
think I think Derek Carr is going to find
Giants.
him. I think he's going to be Andy Dalton pretty soon. Like I think he's going to be
He's too
backing up
good though.
somewhere.
I think
No, I think he'll get
he's
one more
better.
year
I think Dalton.
for sure. Right now he's better than it. But like it
No, no,
feels
no.
like
I'm just saying like. I mean, he almost won the MVP one year.
yeah. So did Andy Dalton.
Mm.
The year he broke his thumb, he was like top. He was like in the top 2 or 3 before he broke his
Really?
thumb. Yeah, he had like 25 touchdowns, like 6 interceptions. He ended up having they were like Bengals were like 11-1 when he got hurt or something. It was the best season of his career, and he got hurt. But no, I can see Derek Carr being the all right. You get overpaid. It's not working out here in New Orleans, which I think the fans have kind of. We talked about at the beginning of the year how they hated him in the offseason, loved him for like 2 weeks, and now they hate him again.
Wait,
So
who?
Derek Carr.
Wait, they hit him again now?
I think yeah, because they suck.
What do you mean they're 3-1 in the last 4 games?
With they're 5-8 overall though.
I know, but I understand they don't want him gone. They gone, but I feel like he got a concussion and broke his hand on the last play of the game
Yeah,
to
and
like
he's out.
basically win the game.
Yeah, and he's out. Is he out? Did they officially put him on IR? I think they did.
Wait, he got put on IR?
I don't know if he actually got put on IR. He's week to week. Okay, week to week. So he's gonna miss a couple weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down though, because there's only 4 weeks left. But I can see him being one of those. It's not like Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers got traded, but he'll be the bridge quarterback for someone who drafts early this year. So it'll be maybe they can't go back to Oakland, but he could be the Giants' bridge quarterback for whoever they draft, who plays 6 games and then gets benched for the rookie. Like that's where I see Derek Carr's next stay. Is one
Or
of those
just a
kind of
full
places.
season of
Yeah, or just a
Derek
full
Carr?
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
that'd probably make Malik Neighbors happy. He's like, oh, someone can throw me the ball.
Yeah, sucks. He's so good too.
I mean,
So good.
there's only been one season. It's going to be 2 after this season, but there's only been one season Derek Carr didn't throw for more than 20 touchdowns.
What season was
And
that?
that was 2018. Raiders were kind of going down.
Yeah, probably had some injuries too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's played like the least amount of games he's played is going to be this year. The least amount of games he played before this year is 15. Like, the guy plays all the time, and he puts up pretty good stats. I'm a Derek Carr guy, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sam Darnold, 5 touchdowns. He looked unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just destroyed the Falcons, and the Falcons look so bad.
Yeah, Jordan Addison too is kind of he's hitting his like second year. Like he was good last year and saw it being the year, but he's the last few weeks it seems like he's hitting his potential and
Yeah.
just looks significant. Like 3 touchdowns this week. He scored. I want to say it's like 5 in his last 3 games, maybe or 6 in his last 3 games or something. I think he had 2 against Chicago a few weeks ago, and then he had 3 this week. So I think he has at least 5. But him and Justin Jefferson, scary duo in terms of just wide receivers. You could put them up there in the top 3, probably top 3 or 4 of wide receiver duos in the NFL. I also think it's a lot to do with coaching. Like, I think Kevin O'Connell is he's a good coach. He knows how to work with quarterbacks, and he's one of those guys that you probably want to play with. That's why Daniel Jones went to Minnesota, is because of Kevin O'Connell. And like I get it. I think Minnesota's gonna be good for a long time. I'm curious what happens when JJ McCarthy comes in. But yeah, Sam Darnold looks great. I know that there was talks of him being MVP at the beginning of the year. I don't think he really has a chance in that race. He kind of had that midseason slump, but they're good. I would not be surprised. Like you,
he had
I
like
think
a
the
2
Eagles,
game slip up.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, I think the Eagles, but sometimes all it takes for MVP to go away, especially
Jared Goff had 1 game.
Correct. Yeah, but I think Minnesota, like I do think the Eagles and Lions are by far the 2 best teams in the NFC, but I would not be surprised if Minnesota makes it there. I really wouldn't be.
I mean, they're a 5 seed right now. That's wild.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's what stinks when your division is good. The Packers are a 6 seed.
Yeah. I mean, that division's nasty. The 6 seed is – would you rather play the Seahawks or the Bucs in the playoffs? First round.
Probably the Bucs.
Really?
Yeah, probably the Bucs.
Why?
I don't know. I think Seahawks defense is just a little bit better. And maybe it's me being a Bengals fan and McDonald going over there from Baltimore and how much fits he gave the Bengals from a defensive side of the ball. Maybe that's why I think that way. I still think Tampa has a lot of injuries. I know they're starting to get some pieces back, but they've had a lot of injuries. So maybe that's why. And the quarterbacks, like I do think Baker's a better quarterback, but it's not a big enough difference for me to sway one way or the other. So that's why I think Seahawks.
You think Baker's better than
Gino? And you're going on the road, right? In either one of these cases?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'd rather play against Tampa.
That's true. That's a good point.
Seattle.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Do you think who do you think matches up better against the Seahawks, Packers, or Vikings?
Probably the Vikings. Because I think Jordan Love's a little bit too much of a wild card against the defense, potentially. Opportunistic defense against Jordan Love, who has been prone to throwing some interceptions this year. So I think Minnesota probably matches up a little bit better. That'd be fun. Those are fun. Like the NFC playoffs are going to be fun though. I think they're going to be more entertaining, especially those early rounds than the AFC for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold looks good. The Vikings look good. Just the NFC just looks so much better than the AFC. And I feel like at the beginning of the year, it was kind of flipped.
It happens every year. Everyone always talks because the quarterbacks are better in the AFC because you have
Mahomes, Burrow,
Allen, Jackson, Herbert, Stroud. Now you can throw like Bo Nix, Drake May in there. Like your quarterbacks are just better in the AFC. Tua. The NFC, you got Jalen Hurts.
Whoa.
You got Jalen Hurts, and then you got Jared Goff, Sam Darnold,
Brock Purdy,
Kyler, which that'll be interesting to see what they do. Gino. But it's a difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
You got your top 5 probably in the NFL and the AFC.
I think, I think the teams in the NFC are more complete, and then the teams in the AFC are more, I don't want to say offensive driven, but they just have a better quarterback.
Yeah, quarterbacks. They're more revolving around the quarterback instead of building an entire, a lot better defenses on NFC's, I think on the NFC side and
offensive lines.
And offensive lines, yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking the Lions because that's the thing that sticks out, but better defense, better offensive line. Eagles, better defense, better offensive line.
Vikings,
very good defense, good offensive line. Like, yeah, that's...
I mean, even Packers you can throw in there.
Yeah, Packers.
So what I want to say, defense.
we were talking about the NFC North. I saw some stat that it was like the Vikings, Packers, and Lions in their last 24 games, like combined, are 21-3, and their 3 losses are to each other. So like only when they play each other. Isn't that nuts? Like they're
That's
undefeated
insane.
outside of the division since October started,
I
or
feel like
something like that.
it's like SEC in college.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts, and it sucks when you're in those divisions. If you just because it's hard, like Vikings could be the 1 seed probably in any other division. Packers could probably be the 1 seed if they played in any other division.
Yeah.
But you have to go up against, you have to beat each other
Well,
up a little bit, and
if you're in like the Bucks division, or if
yeah,
you're in like the Seahawks division, like right
right, you're
now. But I
probably the
mean,
2 seed.
you still have the Rams. We didn't even mention Matt Stafford. Again, we forgot about Matt
Oh yeah,
Stafford
that's
for the NFC. Like that, and we just talked about
yeah,
it 20
yeah,
minutes ago.
yep.
That's hilarious.
We're part of the problem.
We are part of the problem. Two quick things before we get
Mm-hmm.
into our picks.
Sure.
Number one, did you hear that the Bears had 4 yards at half
Yes.
and the 49ers had like 320?
Yes. So I did hear that, and partially because I heard that is because I live in the Chicago area, and my family, majority of my extended family, are Bears fans. So I'm in group text, I'm in all this stuff, and I didn't watch that game closely because I was watching the Rams game, the Rams Bills game at the time. But holy shit, like they have. I mean, but
They're
what do you
so bad.
expect? Your new interim head coach was a quarterbacks coach 3 weeks ago. Like, what
Yeah.
do you expect to happen?
We need to
Like,
stop firing coaches midseason.
yeah,
Unless they like assault someone in the locker room, like what are we doing?
dumpster fire. Like you're just creating. I get it. You probably want to test him out as coach just because he's on your list of
But
options.
what can he implement? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing at this point with 5
There's not
weeks of
enough
the season.
time.
Yeah,
The reason the NFL is so tough to like build teams because you have to go through this long period of the off season and have like all these training, different OTAs, training camp, preseason to put
install.
your terminology, your like all your adjustments, like everything. And then you just
Yes.
throw some guy who's literally never been a head coach before in.
Yeah. It's
Like, hey guys, just so you know, we're running the same thing.
yeah.
But our first drive might be a little different.
And I will say, I hate the Bears. I don't hate the Bears, but like I hate them this week because I said this and I don't know why I did this. Placed like 3 different bets that were dependent on a Bears anytime touchdown. One was
That's
Keenan
crazy.
Allen, one was
Oh,
DJ
yeah.
Moore, and one was DeAndre Swift. We talked at the beginning of the podcast how it was one extra leg one like that we missed. 3 of my parlays were missed because of those anytime touchdowns. Any of them could have scored, and they were all for like $400 or $500. Any of them could have scored, and Roma Dunze scores twice. I was losing my mind. I think I threw something at the wall at one point. I don't know. It was they kept getting down the red zone, and I was like, all right, they're going to score. They're like, I know they're going to score, and then Roman Dudes, they caught a couple of touchdown passes. But yeah, besides the point, sorry, a little tangent there. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't know I get sometimes the locker room needs to change, and it seemed like a lot of players were excited that Eberflus got fired. Players tweeting out and stuff. So it's part of a culture change and a locker room change, and you don't want to lose the players, but I think like now what do you do with Thomas Brown? Now you like him, you put him as head coach. He's probably not going to be successful in this role. You demote. We talked about it briefly last week. I think you demote him back to offensive coordinator. Like he's probably going to leave now
Like
just because.
like I said, dude, if you're an interim head coach, you have to understand that that's not going to be your job next year.
Yeah.
You're a placeholder. And if you want your job back, you'll get it back. But it's not a demotion. It's like, hey, we don't have anyone here. Can you help out?
Mm-hmm.
We'll throw you a couple million, probably.
I don't know how it works with the pay.
Neither do I, but I'm assuming they give them some kind
something.
of
Yeah.
And then next year we're probably going to go through. You can interview, but like unless you went out, like Coach Rizzi right now in New Orleans, is he going to be the head coach? Probably not. He's 3-1.
Probably not. Yeah, probably
But
not.
and the last thing I want to say is Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
To North Carolina.
Yeah, that news broke today. It's been some breadcrumbs I think starting yesterday. I don't get it.
Wants a new challenge. He's done everything you could possibly do as a head coach.
You think you think he wants a challenge? Like you think it was like he thinks I could have gotten a job in the NFL, but I wanted a college job.
You want me to tell you what I think he thinks?
Yeah. Well, yes. Okay. But like, how do you think this? What are your thoughts on just the whole process of this?
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people talk about it. College is becoming more like the NFL every year. Like
Paying for players.
paying for players. I mean, free agency is basically the transfer portal. You can recruit any high school person you want to, so there's no draft. I mean, that is essentially your draft is recruiting. He's going to be treated like a king there.
Yeah.
There's no owner he has to deal with. It's going to be I guarantee you. Apparently, he handed in like a 400-page thing to
Yeah, I saw
North
that.
Carolina saying, "This is what I want." I mean, he's going to get everything that he needs.
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina is an awesome college. I mean, they already have a historic basketball program. Like, why can't you do that with football? He also wants his son as the defensive coordinator. And I do think it's a new challenge. Like, what if he wins a national championship? I mean, then it's
Yeah.
like this guy can do it all, you know?
North Carolina
So
winning national championship seemed
insane. I
so
mean,
far
Boise
off.
State could this year. So,
Yeah, that's
Cincinnati
true.
was in the playoff a few years ago.
Yeah, I feel like Boise's kind of one of those schools that's kind of been relevant, at
They
least
were
when we were growing
relevant with
up.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah, when we were growing up a little bit.
It was the blue field.
I,
Don't let it fool you.
I Statue of Liberty. That's what I think of. But yeah, I think you're right. I do think the NFL has, or the NCAA has changed, so it's more of a pro style. Like you don't need to be pounding the pavement as much as a lot of coaches do. Because like Mike Vrabel has openly said, I hated the college coaching. Like I could not
Well, it's completely
stand.
different now.
Yeah, it's completely different now, but it still is some of that, right? You still have to go recruit. Like that is, you still have to go pound the
That's your
pavement a little
draft.
bit.
He had to
Draft,
go to the
yeah.
pro days and all that stuff.
But I think part of it was he knew, because a lot of times with the coaching stuff, like this, it's already being circulated, like who's going to be interested in what jobs. Like it might not all be public, but we've already heard some stuff with Ben Johnson. I do think there was some stuff behind the scenes that he was not going to be a highly coveted candidate this year. So he took it before he didn't get an NFL job, and it
It's
was
ridiculous.
another year where he couldn't get an NFL job.
I disagree.
Okay, hey, we have different opinions. It's good
No,
though.
no, I know what you're saying. I mean, come
Not
on.
to say
Like
he wouldn't get a
the guy
job.
won 10 games with Mac Jones as a quarterback. We just saw what he did with against Tennessee.
No, and I do think, would he have interviewed for jobs? Absolutely. I just think him as a coach and the way it ended, I think that style of coaching in the NFL is kind of getting phased out, and everyone's going to these younger, offensive minded, like, and you have Drake May now in New England, and maybe that's part of the reason why, like, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't work in New England. I know there's some stuff with, the, he wanted full control, and it just, I just don't think teams wanted to give him full control of everything. His
Yeah,
drafting was really
yeah.
bad
Well,
the
that's what I was
last
saying
like
about
3 or 4
that's what I was
years.
saying about like the owner. Like he
Yes,
doesn't have to
yeah,
deal with an owner. Like he has to deal with an AD, but the AD is going to be like, Bill, you're a god,
and
and he's going to be a recruit machine. And he literally
he is
said he
going to
was
be a
going to.
recruit machine.
He said it's going to be a
Does he bring his
pipeline to the NFL.
Does he bring his girlfriend with him on the recruiting trips?
Hey man, she might be a student.
That's exactly. But no, I think they hired a GM, which I think is kind of new to the college
They're doing
world.
that
Where
everywhere. Yeah,
they hired Michael Lombardi as his, so he picked his GM and stuff. So that's gonna work.
that's
So yeah,
cool because
he
they
was
work together in New England.
yeah, he was given the keys to do it, and like I do think that's part of the reason why he took it is because he got everything he wanted. I just don't think he was going to get that in the NFL anymore. Like I don't think people are going to be like, "Yes,
No,
Bill,
no, no.
yeah,
I think he would have gotten a job if he agreed. Be like, you're just the coach.
correct," but that wasn't going to happen.
And you know what? Like, if I was an NFL owner and I had Bill Belichick in my office, I'd be like, dude, do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well,
It's a lot of
is
egos. I mean, what are we doing?
yeah, it was Atlanta. He thought he had the Atlanta job. He thought he was going to, and then it came out he wasn't even the top 4 or 5, and it was because of
Well,
all his demands.
no, it was because Kraft called the owner and was like,
Yeah, that's true.
this is how it's
Yeah,
going to be. And the guy
that's
was
what I
like,
mean.
no. And then look how it's working out.
Yeah, not great, but that could be Kirk Cousins' problem.
Could be. Could be.
Michael Penix, throw him in there.
Yeah, it is wild though. I mean, I do agree that there's probably some truth to what you're saying with
Yes.
not getting full control, but I mean, no one has full control.
No.
And to assume or to try to get full control, that is tough. But when you have won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach and 8, if you add his defensive coordinator Super Bowl rings, like what are we even talking about? Like this guy knows ball. Why would you? Why would like a millionaire who like or billionaire who created an app think they know more about football than Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's fair.
So that's all.
It's
That's
fair.
all I'm saying.
I
I
will say,
think like Jerry Jones, like idiot.
North Carolina football is going to be one of the most watched. It's early in the year football teams. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'm
if
excited.
you
I think it'll be
thought
cool.
the Deion Sanders Colorado thing
Yeah,
was annoying, wait
wait
till
until
you see the Bill Belichick North Carolina. I
Tar Heels.
liked what Deion did with Colorado, but it's gonna be cool. I've always been a Bill Belichick fan. I love that style, just like do your fucking job or get
Yeah,
out of my office
yeah.
kind of thing. But, you know, some people don't like that, and that's kind of people say it's the new generation. But
Can't wait.
I heard JJ Watt say that one of his like biggest he like thanked one of his coaches that like made him hate football for a year, but it made him like a much better player and a better
Yeah,
person. Sometimes you need that, but you know
yeah.
a lot of people don't want to go through that.
I can't wait to see that Tar Heel blue, baby blue hoodie
Cut off
on the
hoodie.
sidelines. Yeah, cut off hoodie on the sidelines. Nah, it'll be fun. It'll be
They're
interesting
gonna
to
be
watch.
selling at the bookstores.
I do think like I do think you're onto something with the challenge. Like he probably wants to prove himself that he can do it in college too. Let me take this program that has no thought of playing in the college football
Ever.
playoffs and bring them to relevancy. So I do think that's part of it. But
Yeah, then he can look at his buddy Saban in the face and be like, "I can do it too, man."
I'm better than you.
That's
But
unreal. All right,
all
let's get
right,
to our picks.
yep. All right,
That
so
is a fun conversation, though.
that is a good conversation. It's crazy, but
It is
shocking.
crazy.
But it'll be
It is
interesting to see.
shocking. It's cool though.
But yeah, so bets. We'll start getting into the bets. We alluded to it at the beginning of the podcast that not the greatest week, and for both of us, I don't think. I know I didn't hit anything big. You know, obviously hit a few standard player props and stuff like that, but very close to being one of the better weeks in a while, and it didn't come to fruition. But for our pod bets, Mike did go 2-1. He had the Bucks minus 6.5, which hit.
Let's go.
Seahawks Cardinals over 44.5 that hit, and then his Eagles minus 12 bet to the Panthers did not hit, and that brings his record
I
to
don't
21.
like how you laughed while you read that.
21, 18,
Mr.
and
1
1.
and 2 this week.
I did go 1-2 this week, which is fine. I had Bills minus 3.5, which I thought there was still a chance at the end of the game. I wanted them to score and get the onside kick or not have to kick an onside kick and go down and score. I thought that one still had a chance, but obviously came up a little bit short there. Titans minus 3.5. I don't know why. Stupid bet. I don't know why I placed it.
You said it.
I had to watch some of that game, and I'm sitting there like watching paint dry when it's 6-3. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? It was a terrible game to bet on. And then I did have Steelers minus 6.5 against the Browns, which hit. So I went 1-2. I think it's only my second losing week of the entire season.
I didn't even think you had one.
I think I had one a few weeks ago, but I'm at 30-12 for the year now.
Man,
Yeah,
what am I?
You are 18-1, which is pretty
Don't
solid.
call it a comeback.
Yeah, I don't think it's physically possible for you to catch up at this point, even if I go 0-3 and you go 3-0 the rest is. No, it probably is, but it's
That
close.
is possible.
Let's see. Yeah, because how many weeks are left? 4, 12. Yeah, if I go 0-3 and you go 3-0 every week, you'll beat me by like 2.
Don't call it a comeback.
All right, well,
Sorry.
you get to go first and we should throw out there, our parlay did not hit. It was not close to hitting.
Nope.
It was over very quickly.
Nope.
It was
Nope.
nowhere
It was
near
good.
hitting. Nope. It was bad all around. It was a bad week. And same with the anytime touchdown. I think we only hit 1 of 3, and it was Jonnu Smith in overtime. AJ Brown, obviously we talked about him. I thought this was going to be the week where he broke out because he'd been a little quiet.
I think you're 1 week short.
Yeah, I think that was 1 week short. And then T. Higgins, yeah, obviously he did not. We didn't talk about the Bengals because we said we're not talking about the Bengals anymore because they're dead. But he did not score a touchdown. Kind of came close.
Mathematically out.
Not mathematically dead, but they're dead. They're still dead. They're dead to me. I was just
Man, all right.
all right.
Wait, so I get the first pick, huh?
You get first pick, yeah.
Okay, let me look here. I know that
I have placed some already, so
of course you have.
I'm ready
because it's a day in the week and there's games. Also, this Thursday night game is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, Thursday night game's fun.
2 in a row have been good.
It's been like The last
My
like 4 or 5.
God.
The last ones have been good.
The Ravens are 16-point favorites.
Yeah, it moved up to 16 because Drew Lock
DeVito,
is
yeah.
out and DeVito's playing.
That makes sense.
That one's tough.
Makes sense. All right, let's see. Wow, Panthers are favorites. Is that the first time this year?
Probably, yes. Not probably. Oh, they're favored against the Cowboys. Wow.
By 3.
I don't think that covers it.
All right, I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go Broncos -4 against the Colts.
Broncos -4 against the Colts. Okay, I like that. Bengals need that to happen anyway.
Great defense, bad offense, decent offense against okay defense.
Broncos -4, and that is 108.
Yeah.
All right. So my first one that I'm going to take is, and I got it at 4.5 earlier today, but it's -5 now. So I'll take it at -5. I'm going to take the Bengals -5 against Tennessee.
I was thinking about that one.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's playing too well. Jamar Chase is absolutely playing too well. They're somewhat healthy. They put a couple guys in, like Randall Brown's not playing, but Titans defense is horrendous, and you got Will Levis on the other side who usually allows for an opportunity for the offense. So I just think they're going to I think the Bengals are going to put up 30 plus points, and I just can't see the Titans scoring more than 30. So I'm going to take Bengals -5.
I like that. All right, my next pick. I mean, it's kind of tough this week.
The good games this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Man, am I gonna learn my lesson here?
Do not go 16.5 for the Ravens.
Well, it's 16 first of all, but I wasn't looking at that one. I was thinking about Chiefs -4, but they've never covered a game in their life.
So I saw that one earlier today, and I was like, it's only -4, but I thought the same thing. I was like, they're like 1-9 against the spread this year.
If you fade the Chiefs all year, you are rolling in right now.
It's unbelievable, and they're 11-1. That makes no sense.
No sense, none. Man, that's a good one too. I'm gonna go. You ready?
Can I guess two? I'm gonna guess two.
All right.
I'm like Eagles -5.5 is one of them, and then the other one was Ravens.
No, way off.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going over.
Oh,
what game do you think I'm going over in?
Let me see. Oh, fuck, dude. I don't know. A lot of them are the same. Bills Lions.
Over 54.5. Bills Lions. Lions have 7 injuries on defense. Bills have orange cones as their defensive players.
And you brought that up on the pod last week about the Lions, and I had heard a little bit about it. I didn't realize how bad it was until I watched the game.
It's like seven people.
Their entire front 7 and their backups were like on IR besides 1 or 2 guys. Like it was insane. Like their starting depth chart from week 1, they showed I think it was their entire defensive line and 2 or 3 linebackers, starters and second string all out. It was insane. I didn't realize that.
There might not be a single punt in this game.
-110. I like that. I actually kind of love that because no one wants anything more than high points.
I mean, what did the Rams and Bills scored 84 or 86 points last week?
86, yeah, 86. All right, my pick. I'm gonna go, and actually, this kind of goes off our question earlier. Who that's up better against the Seahawks? This could be a preview of the playoffs. I'm gonna go Packers -2.5 in Seattle.
I was looking at that. I like that one, but
I think the Packers need to win.
You did say it is in Seattle.
It is in Seattle, but I still think the Packers get it done. I think they're the better team, and it's under 3. So,
all right, my last pick that I don't love, and this is not equal to your bet last week, but it might as well be. Jets -3 against the Jags.
I do like that. I like that one. What's the odds?
-118.
I like that one. The Jaguars are so bad. Mac Jones.
They're so bad.
Mac Jones stinks.
When I said earlier about Bill Belichick winning 10 games with that guy, I mean that season alone puts you in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I don't disagree. Mac Jones is terrible. All right, my last one. I'm gonna go Vikings -6.5 against the Bears again. I just think
see that one.
Yeah, I just think because it's 6.5, so touchdown.
And they're red hot. They're red hot right now.
And when last time they played the Bears, they were up like 21 in the fourth quarter, and the Bears came back, so it went to overtime. It was kind of fluky. They got an onside kick type of thing. I just think Minnesota is Bears have so many issues. Like to our point, 4 yards in the first half last week. They turned it on a little bit in the second half, but they just look. I think there's issues across the board in Chicago. Defense doesn't look nearly as good as it did at the beginning of the year, or it was supposed to. I think they have the second longest streak in the NFL right now without an interception, or it might be first now because the Giants got one. And it was like 9 weeks in a row coming into this year, which blew my mind considering the secondary that they have. So I think Minnesota's red hot, and them at home against Bears, I think they win by more than a touchdown for sure. So I'm gonna go. That was actually one of the ones that I liked the most this week.
Yeah, no, I like that.
All right, so let me read them down real quick. So Mike picked first. He went Broncos -4, Bills lines over 54.5. I love it. And then Jets -3. I'll probably place that one too just because. And then we have Bengals -5 for me, Packers -2.5, and Vikes -6.5.
Awesome. Let's make a parlay.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. What about Cardinals -6 against the Patriots?
I don't hate that.
Must win for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Patriots coming off a bye.
They stink.
You stink.
They just cut their second best receiver.
Okay. I like it. Okay, so we got Cardinals -6.
What if we moved Falcons to -3 against the Raiders with Desmond Ridder?
Oh, I do like that. I even like that at -4.
Let's do it.
Let's do -4. I like that at -4. The Falcons need to win. A little bounce back week after last week, and the Raiders are. So apparently O'Connell might play, but I don't think it really matters that much, to be honest.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
Does not matter to me. That guy has not shown me anything.
All right, last one. Again, like Chiefs -4, I think makes sense.
That's a Monday night game.
I don't think Houston's that bad. Which one?
There's 2 Monday night games this week.
Oh, there is. Eagles, Commanders, and Lions, Packers. No, what the fuck am I looking at? Houston, Texans, Chiefs. I was looking at don't worry about it.
I saw that too, don't worry.
Yeah. You saw the 2 on the 22nd?
Yeah.
Is that a Tuesday night game?
No, it's Saturday.
Am I? Yes. I'm losing my mind. Okay.
They start playing Saturdays.
Yes, I'm losing my mind. Let's see.
What's the third one? Which one do you like?
I was actually looking at, I'm curious your thoughts. I was looking at the Eagles and
Steelers over?
Steelers over, yeah.
It's really low.
42.5. That's why I was kind of looking at it.
So low, yeah.
I think both offenses are they have good defenses, but both offenses are definitely good enough. All right, I like that.
Yeah,
I guess it's a +608. It's pretty.
That is perfect.
Yep. So you got Cardinals -6, Falcons -4 over Steelers Eagles 42.5. I like it.
Cool.
Cash it in.
All right, you want to do TDs?
Yeah, let's do TDs. Let's do TD1.
How about Puka plus what? It's Thursday.
But it's Thursday night game. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's
plus 130.
Yeah, I'll be placing that
text tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna score for the Giants.
Give me Nico Collins plus 1.
I like that. Who do they play this week? I like that. How come there's no odds for any Miami player?
I might have them. Oh no, I don't. You're right.
All right. Well,
it's weird.
What about CD Lamb? I know you liked it last week.
Yeah, he did hit last week.
No.
Who are they playing? Panthers. Oh, I like that. I like that. He had a bunch of targets last week. I like that. And then last one.
We got to get someone in this Bills Lions game.
That's actually a very good point.
Josh Allen at plus 115.
Yeah, he had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. Yeah, I like that. That's plus 1,188.
Sweet spot.
So you got Nico Collins plus 135, CeeDee Lamb plus 155, and Josh Allen plus 115. I like it.
Hell yeah.
I don't like it. I love it. Both are hitting this week.
I like these picks so much better than last week. It's not even a joke. Dude.
I kind of agree with you. I feel a lot more confident.
So bad.
I feel confident about a lot of these though. So.
Hey man, I love the attitude. Yeah. I can't wait to be back in a state where I can actually gamble.
Soon, a couple weeks. Next week? Is Christmas next week?
No, 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks from today?
2 weeks from today, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. on a Wednesday. What a
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, it's a weird year for Thanksgiving or for Christmas.
Yeah,
All right.
New Year's is on a Tuesday. That's
Yeah, it's a
annoying.
weird holiday year for sure.
I feel like last year like everything was on a Friday.
Yeah, weekends. The last 3 years it's been like on weekends, so it's kind of felt normal. But Wednesday's
Yeah,
tough.
Wednesday is tough. All right, Brian. Well, that was fun. We'll be back
Mm-hmm.
next week. Follow us at Athlete Pod on Twitter. Follow us at Traveling Athlete Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Brian,
Yep. We'll talk to you next week.
sounds good.
See ya.